Okay, let's talk about ribs. In the barbecue venue, um, what I've seen to learn or come across or find interesting is the most two popular things um, to talk about or cook are ribs and brisket. I think we do them both really well. Today, I'm going to show you how we do what we call 2-2-1 baby backs. So what that means, there's a 3-2-1 method out there. If you search, you'll see them all over the place. However, I tend to find in a lot of people, which is why the 2-2-1 is the new rage, seem to think that it overcooks them and makes them mush. I mean, fall off the bone to the point where, in my opinion, it's too much. I like a bite, but in the same time, like to be able to take the meat off the bone clean. Okay, so that's the idea of the 2-2-1. We're gonna cook them today on the. I'm gonna do just one rack so you can get the gist of it, and you can cook as many racks as you like. But this is just for cooking demonstration for you. We're gonna cook them today. I got the green egg coming up to temp. I'm gonna cook them at 235, 2 hours, and then we'll wrap them in foil for 2 hours. And after that, approximately, I'll test them on the way. Sometimes it can be as short as an hour and 45 minutes. If you sense that the package after you wrap it is getting a little too flexible or easy to flex, get it open quick. Unless you like that, if you want it, you can do these 3-2-1 as well. If you like fall off the bone ribs, or you can just stand there and pull the rib right out of them, go 3-2-1 at a higher temperature. People cook ribs between 225 and 275. Unless they go hot and fast, I've seen them up to 350. I tend to think that dries it out, or tends to dry it out. But anyway, as far as ingredients go, I'm going to run through them real quick. Pretty simple. And again, like everything that I tend to cook, it's a matter of how much or what you want. Okay, so I use a binder. It's mustard. Don't freak out. You will not taste it, but it just helps. It's a very common binder for baby back ribs. And baby backs are, by the way, there are three main types of pork ribs. Okay, you have baby backs. These are the loin backs. These run up along the back spine, or the spine of the pig. You have spare ribs, which come down and around the belly, like more so like traditional ribs. And then you have St. Louis cut spare ribs, which are spare ribs that are just trimmed down the skirts off the sides in a shorter, more compressed look. You'll find those. I mean, actually, you'll find in competition both baby backs and Memphis style spare ribs, or St. Louis style rather. And I like them both. I'm going to do videos on both, and a couple different videos on the baby backs as well. I do one no wrap, one wrapped. So anyway, back to the ingredients of this. So mustard for a binder. Today I'm using Meat Church, my buddy Matt Pittman down in Texas. Great stuff. Check him out. This is Honey Boo Barbecue. It's a sweet, salty rub. It is. It's a rub you can put on quite liberally. However, I don't like a ton. This is just me now. You guys do this however you want. I don't like a ton of seasoning or rubs on the rib, because especially on something like the green egg where you have that charcoal flavor, I like to taste the rib and the pork and have the rubs accent that. As far as at the end, after we wrap it, when we wrap it, I will throw a little sauce in there. I like them lightly sauced too. And for that last hour they cook on the grill, you want to sauce the hell out of them, go ahead. I mean, it's all personal preference and what your family likes in you. So I'm going to apply the Meat Church honey rub, and then as my go-to, my SPG, my salt, pepper, garlic from Cosmo. This is a mixture of half water, half apple cider vinegar. I'll spritz the ribs with these, with that. every hour or so, or as they dry out. Only, you know, if and when they dry out, and not until the rub is adhered to the ribs. If it's still moist and you can move it with your finger, I won't. That means don't spritz me. Okay. So normally these ribs come with a membrane on the back, and I was going to show you how to do that, but I got lucky on this one. So, you know, every once in a while they take them off for you. It's a real simple thing to do, and some people don't even do it. It's up to you. I can't tell the difference, but that's just me. But some people are fanatical about it. Some people have to have them off, and some people won't touch them. So butter knife down the side, paper towel in, and you can just pull it off. There's a million videos all over YouTube for it. I will do that on the St. Louis ribs I do next, just to show you. As far as the ribs themselves, these actually look pretty good. Not need much trimming, but the end, this always seems to be a problem. There's one bone here with not much to it, and all that's going to do, it's kind of got a bunch of loose meat and fat. That's just going to burn up. So I like to, keep them straight. If there's any excess, wow, these look really good. Any excess fat, I'll trim off. Okay. And take that off. And I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay. We'll start with the binder. And again, don't get freaked out if you can't stand the mustard, which you won't taste. It's just something about the vinegar powder in it, the mustard powder rather, and the vinegar together that I believe help break the meat down even further while it's cooking to make it even more tender. I don't know, but I believe that. If not, olive oil, parquet, or you don't have to use a binder. A lot of times they're moist enough, but I'm gonna start on the back. Just a light, doesn't have to be, don't get crazy. Make sure you get your sides. Top, same deal. Just want to coat so the rub will stick. Okay. I'm going to come over with this with the back, start on the back. I cook these bone side down on the smoker. So again, medium coat, get your sides, pat it in a little bit. I'm going to come back over the top with some SPG. Light coat. I don't like too much rub, as I started to say earlier, because it tends to cake up and just take away from the flavor for me anyway. Some people love more. I use more. Not going to hurt my feelings either way. Okay, same deal up top. Try to shake them about a foot up. Stuff's not cheap. So make sure you're hitting your mark. See this here, I will just roll that over to there. Okay, get the sides. That little pat. Come with my SPG. Again, very lightly, because both of these rubs have a considerable amount of salt. Obviously the SPG more. But that's it. Okay. So I'm going to let this sit for about 15 minutes or so while my green egg gets up to temperature. And you'll see that salt pull the moisture out of the meat, and it'll get shiny and look wet. That's when you know it's ready to roll. 10 to 15 minutes. If you're in a hurry, you can throw them right on, but it seems to help the flavor penetrate the meat more as far as the rubs go if you just give it a few minutes. All right, we'll see you at the grill. All right, guys, we're out at the grill here on the egg. Just wanted to mention something, and this is just a point. I use this Flame Boss for this. It's incredible. What it does is basically electronically via a temperature control, like a brain, and a fan down the bottom, will actually keep your, and they make them for eggs, Komodo Joe's, Weber's even, I believe, kettles. Pretty cool, because a lot of people struggle with temperature on the green egg. I mean, I didn't because I've used it so much or don't any longer, but it's just nice to be able to set it. And I get it, it's Wi-Fi, it's on my phone, and the thing hangs right in there within a degree. I mean, if you have it set right. So for whatever that's worth, they are expensive, but it's well worth it, especially if you're doing like an overnight brisket or something like that. It'll alarm you if your temperature swings go either way, too high or too low. That's pretty cool. And you can monitor the internal temp of the meat itself as well as the ambient temperature on the grill. All right, so I'm going to put these down here. Very important. Squish them tight together, okay? Because otherwise you don't want them spread out. And air again is your enemy anywhere. You'll end up with dryness. It'll make a drier rib. So scrunch them together on the grill, on your grate rather, and that's it. We're about 2 hours away from wrapping. We'll see you then. All right, so we're back. Ribs are off. They've been rolling at 235 for 2 hours. Okay, nice color. I did spritz them once around the 1 hour mark, but they've stayed pretty moist until I've pulled them. The other thing with the temp I cook at for 235 is nice because it won't dry them out, and you shouldn't really need to spritz them much. That's why I like to cook them low. And baby backs are a lot leaner than your traditional St. Louis ribs or spare ribs because there's a lot less fat in here. So I'm going to wrap them now. And if you watch 10 rib videos, you're going to see 10 different ingredients they put in the wrap if they're doing wrapped ribs. One thing I don't use usually, every once in a while if I'm in that mood I will, but I don't use the brown sugar. I feel it tends to cake up the rib a little bit, and again, I'm a purist. I like to taste the meat and whatever it was cooked on, whether that be charcoal and sometimes charcoal and wood combination with the green egg. I'll do some chunks of cherry or apple if it's pork, but today just straight charcoal. I want to taste that. I don't want to convolute it with too many things, okay? And also, I don't put a lot of liquid. I'm going to spritz the foil and one last time on the ribs to incorporate a little tiny bit of moisture in here. I don't want to steam them. I see people put half a can of beer or water or stock, or I just you end up getting mush. In my opinion, if you like that, do it. But this is the way I cook them, and people love them. So, like my balls, you know what I mean? Same deal. A little bit of moisture in those, people love them. Go check them out. They're nice. All right, so we're going to get started on that. Very simple. Again, I'm going to lay this. And when I put these back on the smoker, they're going to be meat side down this time, okay? Because they're going to be wrapped and protected from the heat. And I want that heat to get up and start tenderizing the meat for the second 2 hours, okay? So a little bit of moisture. Get the top of the ribs. I'm going to lay down some squeezed Parquet. This can be tricky to get. So if you don't have this, you can use just slices of butter. Okay, just put 4 or 5 as the length of your rib that you're wrapping. Do that. I'm going to add a little bit more.
They can order that on Amazon.
Yes, you can. If you can't find it, we can't find it at the grocery stores here. We have to get it on Amazon. I know it's very popular in certain areas in the country, right in the grocery store. So, unfortunately, here not so much. I'm going to hit this with just a little bit more of the rub, so that way the butter won't rob what's on top of it. Okay. Tiny bit of honey. This will also incorporate a little bit more moisture. And when we unwrap these, by the way, you'll see that there'll be plenty of liquid in here because those are going to render nice. Even though there's not too much fat, it will still be nice. Little bits, okay? Don't flood it with anything. And I'm going to put a tiny bit of barbecue sauce. I love this rub some butt. Their pork barbecue sauce. But whatever you like, just a little bit I put in here. This also will incorporate a little bit more moisture. Very important with this, whether you're in the last hour, we're going to have them opened up on the grill, whether you're saucing them at that point or at this point, you should have it at least room temperature, if not heated up. Otherwise, it'll clump up on you as well, okay? So we're just going to, and I mean little, that's it. That's what I put in mine at the wrap stage. The most prevalent or common thing I'm missing is brown sugar. Again, I don't think you need it. It just, to me, makes things overbearing. Okay, then I'm gonna just do the same to the backside with just the butter. Just keep it dry. A little bit more rub. Don't go crazy. Little spurts. I'm not gonna put honey in the back. Don't forget that rub's got a lot of sweetener in it as well. Okay, I'm gonna double wrap these. Very important. If you end up with a lot of liquid or any liquid, it's important to have it sealed, and also you want to make sure that you don't catch your grill grates and pop a hole in this and all your moisture is going to leak out. Not only make a mess, but leave you with a dry rib too. Okay, so I'm going to go up, fold in the sides. For all you guys out there that, and ladies, changing babies, kind of like the diaper. So I'm bone side down. One more time to leave me meat side down. If you have an edge like that, just fold it in. Make a bed out of it, okay? Same exact thing again here. Start. Seal this up nice. You can also use butcher paper with this too. That will help protect the bark or the crisp of it if you're looking for that type of finish. And it'll also, same deal, help cook it quicker and protect it from the heat as well. However, the aluminum foil will turn it into a more tender, quicker cook, okay? So that worked out good. So we end up meat side down. Not so worried about that because it's tight from the first one. Back of the grill, see, we already got a little rip here on the second level out, so good thing we did it twice. Meat side down, back on the grill, 2 more hours. We'll see you then. Alright folks, we're back. Just took the ribs off the smoker, and what we're going to do now is I'm going to unwrap them, sauce them lightly, put them back on the smoker for the last hour, give or take. Now, one thing I did want to say, and I may have mentioned this earlier, it's not a science as far as time goes, barbecue. I know you watch videos or you hear 3, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1. It's a guide. Please don't make the mistake of sticking exactly to time without checking as you're going. Because different cuts of meat cook differently. 2 different baby back racks can cook an hour difference in time, depending on the fat content, where they're from, the diet that the hogs were eating. All that comes into play. So use it as a guideline. And I think a lot of people, in my opinion, make the mistake of just sticking by cooking by time with barbecue. If you ask any experienced pit master, you listen to them, it's looking, it's feeling, along with time and temperature. But it's a combination of everything. If you like, I like mine, as I said, bite through, clean off the bone, not fall off. You like yours more tender? Cook them longer. It's just a guideline for you to follow. It doesn't have to be specific, okay? So I'm going to get these unwrapped. See what we got here. That's That's our first layer. Yeah, these feel good. You can feel them flexing, but not breaking. Before I even get them open, I can tell how they're gonna look by that. Sorry, that. Yeah. So you can see, if the camera can catch this, but you can see the pushback on the bone starting to come through. Great sign. And there's the liquid I was talking about. It's exactly how much you should have left. It shouldn't be swimming in it. Be just enough to tenderize them. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put them over in a different aluminum scenario here. I'm going to make kind of just a boat. I'm not putting any liquid in. I'm not wrapping them. But I'm going to be saucing them. So it's just a way to keep your grill clean and easier to take on and off the grill. You can kind of make a boat around it and have an easier time with cleanup. And the heat will get to it and accomplish what we're out to do, which is mainly just to finish cooking up and dry the moisture out of it. Right now they're too wet. We're going to bring some of that bark back with exposing it to some direct heat. I'm going to take some of this, rub some butt. This is a Carolina type sauce. I like it. It's got a little bit of vinegar, some acidity. If you're familiar with Carolina barbecue, that's what they're kind of known for. And I like it. It kind of creates a sweet and savory type of scenario, sweet and sour a little bit. Again, we're not going to go crazy here. Just a light coat. Brush it on gently so you don't take your bark with you. And that's it. I'm going to tighten that foil up a little bit. Back on the smoker for an hour or so. I'll keep an eye on them. Get a little more color on them and dry them up a little, tighten them up a little, and we'll be done. I'll show you what the end product looks like. See you soon. Okay, so we're back. I've taken the ribs off the smoker, letting them rest. I've got some professional judges here. This is my son Joe, youngest out of 6, all boys. His buddy Noah, hanging out with him tonight for the weekend. And just a quick recap. We seasoned them, put them out in the grill 2 hours, brought them back in, wrapped them out back on the grill or smoker for 2 more hours. Came back in, unwrapped them, back out, sauced them lightly for 1 hour. Now we're going to check them out. What do you think, Joe? Are you pretty good with ribs?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why is that? Okay. You can't get that
No
one
one's
for
a
sure.
beast.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's beast,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah, what is
Alright, so look, you see these? See the pull through on the bones? Isn't that nice? So I like to cut them from the back. No, if you wouldn't mind, a couple of plates, please.
What do we do this button?
What?
Those cut nice, huh? Tender. Alright. I think that's pretty good looking rib, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty nice?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Don't be in a hurry. Okay? Joe? Alright, so 2 bites. Everybody knows the rules. Shout out to my boy Portnoy, my Boston brother. Alright, so let's dig in, check them out. Give me a score. I thought you were good with ribs, dude. What are you eating?
Yeah.
Eating them like a barbarian.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Alright? You're a beast, bro.
7.5.
Okay.
8.5.
Wow.
Alright. I can't argue with that since you guys don't know what you're doing. It's not bad. Just kidding. Well, that's it, folks. That's a wrap. Let me dig in here and give you an expert opinion. You see the perfect bite through but not fall off the bone? What do you think of that bite? Exactly how they should be, in my opinion. Tender, juicy. How do you like the flavor?
Good.
Flavorful.
Bussin', not good.
Till next time, thank you.
Peace.